Maia Leonard, and I am making this video for my patrons. Talking to you today about the piece of art that is on the postcards that you should be receiving any day now. And that is this tapestry, this side of this tapestry, which is entitled Transmutation of the Iron Maiden into an Exoskeleton. So, technically speaking, this is the back side of the piece. Tufting, which is the technique that I used to make this, is actually for rug making. And so if you take a look at your carpet and you see little round bumps on it on top with like little individual bits that you can push apart, that's a tufted rug. Actually, most carpets are tufted style. But some, anyway, I'm not going to get into the difference between cut pile and not. This is not a cut pile carpet. So I'm going to flip this around and show you. This is what the front of the piece looks like, and it's really cool to me, the difference between what each face looks like, but it's particularly meaningful for this piece, in my opinion, because it's all about the ways in which we protect ourselves and talk to oneself and consider what it's all about, the inner world with relation to the outer world. The Iron Maiden in question is those ideas we have about ourselves and other people that we use to protect ourselves, but which actually harm us, whether it is leading us to be antisocial because we think that nobody is going to like us, or pushing people away before they can hurt us, that kind of thing. And this was a really therapeutic piece for me to make, because I was processing a whole lot of trauma at the time that I was making this, and so the actual act of tufting. Here, I'll show you. This is the tool that I use to make it, and I have a canvas here, and I put the yarn through it, and then I have to literally like stab every single little bit here. So if we look back at the other side, people often say that this side of the work looks like embroidery, and it does, because this is actually just a really big scale of punch needle embroidery. Anyway, so back to the Iron Maiden. The process of making this piece was incredibly cathartic for me, because it allowed me to physically process what movement and energy through my body as I was processing in my brain all sorts of things. And I didn't start out with the title. Let me tell you that for one thing. Sometimes I start out with a title and the piece creates itself from that. And other times I create the piece from just an amorphous vision that sort of appears. This piece, so this part right here, this is the alchemical symbol, which I have tattooed on my chest right here. It's a symbol that I created out of other alchemical symbols, and it is my soul's name. This came about because, or this name revealed itself to me like 7 years ago, I think. More than that, maybe eight or nine. Would have been 8 years ago now. Because I found a Girl Scout handbook from the 1940s. And as a former Girl Scout, I was very excited to buy it. And I went through and a plan that I have always sort of harbored was to do some of the badges in it, because they're really cool badges, and I wanted to do some of them. And the most intriguing one was the Bibliophile Badge, which is obviously about loving books and language and words, which I do. And it's a really cool one. You have to learn about how books are made and research the history of the printing press, and you have to make books and interview librarians and that kind of thing. But what I liked most about it was the really cool symbol that was on the badge itself. And I don't know if how familiar any of you are with Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts or whatever, but the badges that they get for completing projects, or these big projects, sort of mini courses almost, they get these badges, and they're usually little icons of something. So if there's I remember getting an arts badge, and it had, a painter's palette with some paintbrushes. And for the money sense badge, you got a badge that had little stacks of coins on it. And fire building, obviously, would have a campfire on it, and so on and so forth. And that's what these badges looked like, except this badge was completely unlike any other, and it had this like alchemical symbol on it that was one I had never ever seen before. And I'm not claiming to be familiar with all of the alchemical symbols, but I'd never seen this symbol before in my life anywhere. But it looked really familiar, and it was really cool, and I loved it. And it spoke to me, and I felt like, I really wanted to get this as a tattoo, because I am a bibliophile. I really resonated with the idea of the badge and what you were supposed to learn, and it looked really cool. And but I have a rule that I have to, really know what I am getting tattooed on me, for one thing, and also that I have to wait several years before between the concept and the actual ink. So in that time, I researched the tattoo, or what I wanted to be a tattoo, which is a symbol, and I found out that it is the printer's stamp from the guy who invented, among other things, italics. And this is like way back when the printing press first started. And so he made this little stamp so that everything he printed could have his stamp on it, and that was his name. I thought, well, I can't have someone else's name on me. I mean, that's that's just wrong. I can't do that. For me, it's wrong for me. Other people can do that, but like I can't have someone else's name on me. I need my own name on me. So I was thinking a lot about like, what is my name symbol then? And this is something that I mean, to be honest, I've been trying to figure that out since I was a kid, and I was like writing my own books and stuff, and making up languages and all sorts of things. I would make these sigils, and so I would try to like combine all the letters of my name to make a symbol or something, and I've never liked it. In high school, I took fashion design classes, and they would have us do these exercises where we were supposed to come up with our label, like what the logo for our label would be to put on our clothes. And mine were always terrible. I'm really bad at representing myself. And anyway, so to be honest, I don't really remember how I realized that this was my name. It came through in a bit of a fugue state, you might say, and where I was just sitting with a whole bunch of alchemical symbols and Google, of course, and a notepad and a pen, just like furiously scribbling things down. And this symbol came up as a combination of several symbols. And so if you read it top down, it says fire, brimstone, glass, annealing. And that felt like my name. Fire, brimstone, glass, annealing. As someone who's lived through multiple fires, and other near-death experiences, I feel like I have spent a lot of time with fire and brimstone. But I've also spent a lot of time with glass. Glass is a medium that I love dearly. And one of the most important parts of glass blowing is the annealing process, which is the process of cooling down this substance, which is a non-Newtonian liquid at thousands of degrees, cooling that down to a solid, technically still non-Newtonian, but a non-Newtonian solid, to the point where it can be touched and held, and also to a point where it is strong. And in order to do that, it has to be in an oven. So this name for me really represents the time I've spent in my own crucible, and the effort and work that I have done to integrate that hot, fiery mess into something which is tangible and not painful to the touch. So anyway, I started out with my name symbol and a border, and I didn't really know where it was going from there, but the muse just kept showing me it, you know, in a movie or a TV show, when the characters go into a wormhole. It was like that. It was like I was in a wormhole, and I was just like, every time I thought about this, I just was in this like wormhole of color and sounds and explosions and also emotions and thoughts, and I was processing, and it was overwhelming, and that's what I was able to visualize this process of or the process that I was going through at the time of integrating some traumas. And so I just started putting a wormhole through it, and it comes out of the belly button, I guess, of it. It kind of, the symbol kind of looks like a bug, I guess, because of this part, which looks like wings, legs, or whatever. But so this would be the belly button of it, the center point, from which the wormhole, I don't know if it's going into it, if it's emanating from it. I think it's both. I think it's everything at once. I mean, the process of dealing with your shit is messy, and it goes everywhere at once, and it's non-linear. Anyway, that is what this piece of art, this tapestry, is about. And I hope you like your postcards. And if you would like postcards of the other side, please let me know, because I've been considering that for one of the sides. If you wouldn't, please let me know that as well, because that is good information. Also, let me know if you like the video format, because as I mentioned, this is my first time doing a video. I kind of like it. I like being able to sort of have a conversation with you and tell you about my art. I've never actually recorded myself talking about my art, and to be honest, I don't really talk about my art much and the background of it in general. So it's nice to be able to share that with you. And I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know. Thank you. Goodbye.